Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Almost got mugged tonight. Go to the gas station at 1 a.m. in the morning. Completely empty. Not a single car, not even the cashiers. Bad vibe, but can't put my finger on it. Get out of the car to fill gas. Modern gas station pump with TV screen playing. The commercial is extremely loud. I can't hear anything in my surroundings. Decide to check my surroundings visually. Look behind the gas station pump. Some thug was coming out of the bushes towards me. Make hard eye contact. He's looking at me with a dumb look in his face. Obviously, I changed his plans when I spotted him. Another thug comes running from God knows where and grabs his friend and tells him to run. They sprint laughing. One drops a knife while running. Looks back at the knife, then at me, then back at the knife. Ultimately picks up the knife and both sprint into the darkness. Called the police and informed them of what happened. Apparently, a few nights ago, some people were mugged by two little knife-wielding thugs. Funnily enough, just the eye contact dissuaded them. I didn't have my hand on my hip as if I was about to draw or any menacing body posture. But I was ready mentally to draw the moment I felt threatened. Probably helps that I don't look like a punk. But what really saved me was situational awareness. Had I not looked around, they would have gotten the drop on me for sure. Stay safe /K/lots of crime due to the low amount of people on the streets.
I haven't posted it in a while, but this happened 10 years ago now. I'm 36. Be me. I live in Dallas-Fort Worth. 10:30 p.m. at local 24-hour CVS to pick up last-minute candy for a Halloween potluck at the office the next day. Took my newborn with me because he was fussy and wouldn't go to sleep. Car rides and baby carrier rides put him to sleep like nothing else. Leaving CVS. Latching baby carrier into dock and back seat. Here, give me the keys. Turn around and see a guy who looks completely strung out holding a pump shotgun and pointing it at me really closely. Instinctively start brushing the barrel away from me with my left hand while saying, "Easy man, no problem." I think to myself, if he shoots me, it will kill me and my kid. If he takes the car my kid is latched in, who knows what will happen. I keep trying to brush the barrel away from pointing at me and reach for my waistband holstered Glock 26 with my right hand while saying, "No problem." Draw and fire. He drops the shotgun and runs. I've never seen a man run that quickly. All I hear are footsteps and the shotgun hitting the concrete. Catch a fleeting glimpse of him rounding the corner of the CVS as he runs away. Police show up. Shotgun not loaded. They find him dead in a covered bus stop dead. Apparently I shot him in the liver. It's the first and only time someone has tried to rob me.
Did you get sued, and would you do anything different?
No suit. From what I understand, he was in and out of jail his whole adult life. He was 35 but looked over 50. No known family.
You got so lucky there. Glad you and your child are okay.
Be me, back when I was 19. Be camping out in the middle of nowhere. It's dusk, thinking of leaving. Place is giving me weird vibes. I'm about to head up an overgrown trail to my campsite when something blurs past me. Get scared, pull my Glock out. Shape was humanoid and really fast. Look around, can't see jack shit. Look to ditch by trail side. See this junkie crouched down in the bush. He's holding a syringe in his hand. It's filled with some kind of tweaker potion of strange coloration. Mumbles some incoherent shit at me, then starts huffing and baying like an animal. Glock is pointed down at ground, too perplexed to even do anything. He starts fidgeting around. There's this faraway look in his eyes. Suddenly starts climbing out of the bush, holding out syringe in my direction. He starts towards me, growling like a dog. Oh shit. Get this sudden moment of clarity. Don't even think, just pull up gun and shoot. Burst off 3 shots into his left leg. He goes down like a bag of wet cement. Junkie is still crawling towards me. Get out of there as fast as I can. Never look back even once. Not sure if he lived or died. Meth is a hell of a drug.
Be mid-2000s. I work on a cattle ranch in Kansas. Normally, the job is pretty boring. Patrol the property on horses to look out for coyotes, cattle rustlers, local kids, baby cows, etc. Herd cattle into different pastures, closer to the barn for milking, to the gate for auction. Ranch boards horses for rich city girls to come and ride and post on their Insta about how they own a horse. Only a few of us carry rifles. Most only carry a .22 revolver or Glock for snakes. I carried a Winchester model 1987 and my uncle's SAA. One day I'm on patrol with my second cousin. He is a nut, but that's another story. See a truck at the gate loading cattle in a carrier. The new truck and carrier and the guys doing the loading look like regular ranch hands. Cousin asked me if anyone was coming to pick up cattle today. Tell him not that I know. Radio my uncle to see if anyone was picking up or moving cattle today. Uncle tells me no and to not let them leave. I draw my shotgun out of its scabbard and my cousin takes out his AR. As we start to ride towards them, one of the guys loading cattle notices us and quickly tries to latch up the back as the other jumped in the driver's seat and they try to drive off. Cousin takes that as a hint to start peppering the truck with .556. The truck takes off down the road before I can get a shot off without shooting the trailer. Thankfully, horses are gunshot trained and cattle don't get spooked as we go out shooting all the time, and they are used to it. My cousin and I give chase down the road, but we give up after they pull off into the highway. Uncle had already called the cops. Met back at the ranch with the entire county's police department there ready to investigate the crime of the century. Take all of our info and confiscate our guns. Guys got caught at an ER only a few hours later. The driver was hit and almost bled out. All the cattle were returned and accounted for.
Out late in Arkansas, as usual. In daytime, a lot of people in the towns are either wearing medical masks or not due to shortages, and at night, most just don't go out at all. People out in the outer areas are straight up wearing full-on gas masks and even Soviet ones with Soviet filters. Anyway, stockpiling on last of Bic lighters from the smoke store nearby and grabbed some cigars on the way out when someone in a hoodie suddenly came out of the corner with a medical mask. I immediately draw my Colt revolver out as soon as he came around the corner and told him to get the fuck away from me, or I put 6 rounds of .38 in his chest and bash his head in. Pulls out a knife and runs at me. Immediately shoot at him in the leg and 2 in his groin, but he falls over and yells in pain. I back away and see someone else come around and shout, "Fuck! Shit, let's go fuck!" and dragged him out back around the same corner, and I quickly left the area and got out of there. This was really far out in a small town area, so no FBI investigation or any of that CIA went down, but it was intense. People in Arkansas are having to carry guns more, and people are attacking other people for supplies or just to kill for food because of low supplies. Shit is getting out of hand.
I had a similar thing happen. All the way down to some thug coming out of the bushes is the same for me. Threat scan. Shit, there's 3 of them and they are way too close. "Hey man, do you have $1? "No." "Come on, why are y'all like that?" "Fuck you." "You know what, I think I'm just going to take that $1. HNIC approaches while drawing a knife. He was looking at me, not my hands. Already have my hand on the grip of my P228. Draw P228 before he closes the distance. The first round goes off. The look of absolute shock on his face. Send 2 more because he's still upright. Crashes into me. Feel a punch. He collapses. Shove away. Try to create distance. 1 is already running. Second, it looks like he's trying to pull something out of his pocket. Fuck that. Send what I think is 3 rounds. It's the rest of the magazine. He drops. Drop mag and reload with 1 in my watch pocket. Don't even realize I did this. Damn, that guy hit me hard. Look down, there's blood all over me. He bled on me. Shirt is cut to ribbons. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Start feeling. The knife broke off in my ribs. Start to feel woozy. Sit down on the curb by the pump, back to the pump. Pull out my cell phone. Start to dial 911. Clerk comes running up. Cops are on the way, man. Try to ask for an ambulance. Can't really talk. Blood is in my mouth. Long story short, it was the worst 5 minutes of my life and has had a long-lasting impact on me physically and emotionally. I got stabbed 5 times. Before the knife broke, I fired 15 rounds, 13 hit. Both I shot were dead right there. I was in the hospital for the better part of a month. I faced no charges. The third guy, who ran away, was a cousin to the other 2. All were family. He got charged and convicted of felony murder too. I have received death threats from the remaining family members, and my car and home has been vandalized. I've since moved states.
Did you get sued in civil court? Would you do the same thing again, or give them some money and hope they left? Also, my coworker got in a bar fight and was stabbed like a dozen times in the parking lot. Said he didn't even realize what had happened until the guy who stabbed him said something about it. He thought he had just gotten punched. He almost died, has a huge ugly scar from his navel to his throat, lot of surgeries and complications. Plus, he got in a legal battle with the guy. Don't think he won.
No, I wasn't sued to the wording of our laws, which is one of the myriad reasons I think they were pushing to have me charged. I also have a suspicion that they would have tried to kill me if I was arrested, whether in jail or out on bond, because I would have been unarmed. Absolutely, I'd do it again. If anything, I would have been more aware of my surroundings and hopefully diffused it prior to them being so close. I honestly think if I would have noticed them earlier, like OP did, they would have broken off. Then again, if I didn't kill them, how many other people would have been victimized? How many would they have killed? Or Chris Chand? Basically, what your friend said is how I perceived it. Honestly, I didn't get the slow motion stuff until it was over, and I was in the process of bleeding out. EMS was there in 10 minutes. It felt like 10 years to me.
I bet it did. You tell a great story. I can't even imagine what it's like to taste blood like that, but scary to even think about. Glad you're okay, and I wouldn't give a squirt of piss for the guys who threatened your life. The result absolutely prevented crime against defenseless people.
Be me, be Brit, so no guns. Be 17, drinking in the woods with my mates. Go off for a piss. It's maybe 1 a.m. Walking back to my mates, it's dark as shit. Don't realize it, but some guy in a tracksuit comes up to me, shoves me hard, and starts insulting me. Think he's probably another dude out trying to get an asbo with their pals. Tell him to chill out. He squares up, ready to fight. Grab my opinel from my jacket pocket. Don't even open it, just wrap my fist around it and jam it into his guts. Push him over and sprint back to my mates. No one believes me, and everyone thinks I'm a freak for even having a pocket knife. No one complained when I was cutting up bread for the picnic earlier with it.
One time I was using an ATM in a kind of sketchy part of town and I saw this punker-style kid. Could have been anywhere between 17 and 25, hanging out around the parking lot. He walked my direction, and when he got close enough to start asking me something, I whipped around with my hand on my Smith & Wesson 642 on my waist and told him to fuck off. He was very scared and ran away. In retrospect, he probably was just a beggar, but man, don't mess with people at the ATM. Some years later, I was living in a rather dark part of town, and me and my housemate decided to walk to the store for some beer, which involved going down a long flight of stairs on a public throughway that ran down the side of a wooded hill. From the top, we could see one Somalian loitering at the landing in the middle, and down at the bottom a larger group. As we walked by, he was playing with his phone, but after we got a few feet past, he put the phone away and moved to follow. Again, I whipped around with my hand on my Smith & Wesson Model 28 while my housemate grabbed whatever his Ruger single-stack 9 piece of shit was. Neither of us drew. I made eye contact with him and he looked rattled and took off up the stairs. His friends at the bottom saw what happened and took off running down the street. We got our beer and went home. Another time I was walking to my car after work in a shitty part of downtown. I wasn't able to carry at work, and my car was constantly getting broken into, so I didn't have a gun stashed there either. After turning a corner, I realized I was being followed by a short guy in a puffy down jacket, the style that used to be popular. I walked down the block and turned the corner into the parking area. The guy followed me, and at that point he was pretty close. I whipped around and raised my Pyrex lunch container as though to smash his face, and I yelled something unintelligible but clearly hostile. The dude recoiled in terror. He's just some mild-mannered Asian fellow. I parked my car here, he said. I lowered the glass bowl. Oh, sorry. Maybe don't follow people so close around here. Bad neighborhood, I said, and hurriedly got in my car and drove off. Somewhere there's a normal Asian guy who probably hates white people because he was almost viciously attacked with a Pyrex bowl. Sorry, dude.
Nothing too extreme. Be at nerd convention in a slightly sketchy, low-density area. Walk with a female friend to the gas station up the street to buy drinks or something, waiting to cross the street. Sketchy tweaker dude starts hassling us, asking for money or cigarettes. Try to diffuse verbally, not really working. Dude has that sort of subtly threatening attitude tweakers tend to put on. Start to get ready for shit to go down. Conspicuously turn strong side away and move hand toward hip. The tweaker dude obviously sees this and gives up and goes away. I've had a few others like that. Funny thing is, I wasn't even carrying a couple of the times. Lowlives seem to recognize the body language of somebody who's carrying pretty well, and I guess they generally don't want to find out what happens next any more than you do. Also, just to add to this, these things are one of the reasons I like strong side carry over appendix. Shitheads might not recognize the signs of somebody about to draw appendix, which might be good if you're 100% going to shoot them and want surprise, but a hand going toward the 4 o'clock position is pretty universally recognizable and seems to diffuse situations pretty reliably. I've also found that, in many of these cases, you can't avoid being in very close quarters with these people, and I feel a lot more confident being able to subtly turn my gun almost 180 degrees away from the assailant before I might have to draw from retention and use it.
The younger version of me, about to visit a friend and go hiking. Bear country, so got CZ75 my dad gave me. Stopped next to the underpass to fuel up, 3 in the morning, still 4 hours to drive. Kinda distracted, checking trip on map app. Kinda tired too. Hear bang. Hoodlum charges across the lot. Gets spooked, draw, shoot. Drops flat, gets up, runs away. Call 911. Minutes away when seconds count. JPEG. Police do their stuff, takes ages. Too bad we can't find the perp. He dropped a knife where he fell, and there is a tip of a finger. Drive to friend later in the day, stay an extra night and go hiking the next day. Shaken and paranoid, talk, drink, get a call back with an update. The police checked the area, checked the video. Gentleman got close, threw a carpenter's hammer at my head, then charged after he missed. I turn around, see him and mag dump. I didn't even notice I fired so much and missed so much. Runs back in the hood. Don't worry, you will be fine. Sure as hell I'm not fine. Sometime later again, guy goes to turn his life around by going to a pain clinic to score shit. The police picked him up after there weren't that many people with that injury. Besides the fingertip uninjured, dirty drug addict has the same clothes as in the video. This guy is known as an aggressive beggar. Tried and mugged people before. He gets sent to a federal Holiday Inn for a few years. Get a little bit of online harassment online by his fellow hoodmates and their defenders. Move away for work a little over a year later. Start to do drills and stress training since I hit nothing besides a fluke and got lucky he stumbled. Friends think I'm paranoid when we are outside late at night and I'm always very alert, but they still understand me. Become a valued designated driver and late night taxi as I look out for friends. Still have dreams where I shoot at monsters and people and nothing happens.
I grew up in a fairly small town in Florida and moved to Minneapolis when I turned 21. I never learned a city walk, and it almost got me fucked up. I think. I'm walking through Uptown and I'm passing this big church, and there are a bunch of dudes sitting on the steps out front. I'm walking slowly, sightseeing really, and as I approach the church, one of them stands up and walks out in front of me. Without thinking of it, I just go, "Oh, sorry," and brush past him without thinking. I came to find out from a friend that if I had stopped, I likely would have had some trouble. This kind of thing happened to me multiple times before I wised up and got a city walk, which is pretty obvious if you think for more than a few seconds. Look like you know where you're going, even if you don't. Keep looking around. Hand out of your pockets and empty. Don't look at your phone. Don't have it visible. Wallet in your front pocket. Keep a distance between people in front of and behind you. If someone is behind you for more than a block or two, stop in somewhere until they pass, if possible. Sounds paranoid, but something shitty only has to happen once. And since Minnesota is a duty-to-flee state, you don't really have the option of doing some John Wayne shit.
I used to do this until I left it, SSC card and all, in a seedy McDonald's at 7 a.m. while technically on the clock and unable to go back in to retrieve it until 8 p.m. Worst day of my entire life up until then. Immediately at 8 I went straight there and lo and behold, the employees got it first. Thanked the Lord and promised him I would never test him with my shit memory again. So I stopped at the nearest Walmart and bought a fat chain wallet. I kept the thing and its chain in my back pocket, with it hooked to my 7 or 8 o'clock belt loop since. Which brings me to just last year. I was in France with an ex and her parents. Getting on the subway, her mom asked for me to give her my wallet to keep in her purse to avoid pickpockets. I pulled it taut on the chain and said, "Is that really necessary?" She less surely said she still wanted it, so I put it and the chain back on top of the wallet, in my pocket, and pulled out a handful of chain. There really is no way somebody is going to steal out of this without me noticing. My ex then just unlooped it from my belt and handed it to her, which she then proceeded to forget to give back to me for 2 days. I'm never letting my wallet untether my body in public again.
Grocery shopping at Winco. Not the worst part of town, but still shady. Always panhandlers with signs at exits from the lot. Always some aggressive beggar in a lot. He watches cars coming in, or people loading groceries. Typically waits until you're halfway in or out of the car, so he gets you at an awkward and vulnerable moment. Gets right up in your personal space so you can't close the door, and asks and demands $20, claiming he's just out of gas, or whatever. I always watch for muggers and beggars like this and fix them with a stare before they can get close, and they usually leave me alone. I'm in a bad mood though today and feeling like pissing off the aggressive beggar. I park near where I see him hanging out between cars. He doesn't approach me, damn it. I subtly watch for him when I come out with groceries, see him waiting for me to finish loading, act like I don't see him, and wait for him to approach. I act like I'm getting in car. Then when he's level with my rear bumper, around 10 feet from me, I spin around and say really loud, but not quite yelling, "Hey man, I'm glad you came over. I just had to spend my last dollar on food for the kids. Can you give me 20 so I have gas money for the rest of the month?" He's startled, then just stares at me, dumbfounded for a second. Eventually, he just sneers and says, "Hey, fuck you, man." As a precaution, I had my hand on my gun on the side facing away from him, but subtle-like, so he probably couldn't see what I was doing. He stormed off, and I got in my car feeling just a little better about the world. Yeah, it was a stupid way to handle the guy, but I was just sick of that type of beggar and felt like trying something new this time. In general, though, if you want to survive armed encounters, stay alert. Spot trouble while you still have plenty of time and space to avoid it, or at least tip the odds in your favor if you can't avoid it altogether.
Not my story, but I got an uncle who repairs power lines. He did a several-week-long contract in hillbilly country, West Virginia. Uncle, in West Virginia, told my local sheriff that there's meth labs hidden in the woods and that they have wandering GPS-tracked pit bulls that will attack people to scare them away. Coworker informs Uncle that he has a Glock on him in case anything goes down on the job. Take Uncle to shoot it once because he has literally never shot a gun before. Coworker is working on a line. Uncle keeping watch below. In his words, "Out of nowhere, this burly meth head charged at me out of the bushes and started trying to bite a chunk out of my ballsack. Uncle nearly pissed himself running away. turns around and mag dumps Pit with 15 rounds of 9mm. Uncle and co-worker get the hell out before meth heads find their dead dog, and Chris chan them to the sound of a banjo. Co-worker complains about Uncle wasting all his expensive JHPs on a dog. Over the course of that same trip, Uncle gets charged by Cow and meets a waitress who literally couldn't count to 4. West Virginia sounds like a weird place.
This happened to a friend. Son of a state trooper. Doesn't carry a gun, 19 years old. Hooks up with girl on Tinder, goes to her apartment which is near a D1 college. Was kind of new to the area, moved from 2 cities over. Friend drives a red Dodge Charger with black rims. Goes to apartment. Girl texts him saying she'll be out to let him in 10 minutes. Friend sits in car texting with the engine on. It was winter. Sedan, later determined to be a '99 Camry, drives up and blocks him in a parking space. Guy rolls down the window and starts shooting with a semi-auto 30 cal hunting rifle. Perps are at large and friend couldn't determine exact gun, but it was FUD. Guy in back passenger seat opens fire with a 9mm handgun. Friend panics and backs into Camry. Doesn't have enough speed to move the car out of the way, but forces shooters to stop momentarily. Tires spinning, rear window shattered. Friend puts it in drive, jumps the curb and drives down the sidewalk. Manages to get into the parking lot. More shooting. He is shooting at him with a .22 now. Hears bullets clunking off the car. Jumps curb again and swerves onto the side street, gets onto a main, well-traveled street, seems okay. Lots of honking and headlights darting by because he's driving in the wrong lane. Tries to look in the rearview mirror to check for pursuers. Peripheral vision gone. Crashes into a tree and gets knocked out. Wakes up in hospital, can't see. Hears people shouting medical stuff. Yells that he can't see. The nurse tells him that he was shot in the back of the head, but the bullet seems to have stopped short. Says that the blindness is normal and he should make a full recovery, but they had to do surgery to pull the bullet out. Says the surgery will be very easy and other reassuring things. Anesthesia starts kicking in, wakes up 3 days later, vision returns slowly, view gradually widens. Turns out he was struck in the back of the head with a .22 bullet. His car seat slowed the bullet just enough to save most of his vision. Had it penetrated any further into his brain, he would have been blind or dead. Perps were never caught, but police think that friend was mistaken for a rival drug dealer. Friend was about to enter training for highway patrol, loses peripheral vision, unable to be a state trooper. Has to work construction instead. Other story from another friend at work. Friend sitting on a swing set in an empty park in somewhat hood area. 2 p.m. so isn't on high alert. 17 years old so no gun. Talking on the phone with friend who is 10 minutes away from showing up. Has $60 in wallet because he was planning on buying weed. Feels tap on shoulder. Please put your hands up and stay calm. 2 guys wearing hoodies and bandanas pointing revolvers at him. Definitely not BB guns, looked like .38. Friend calmly puts down the phone. Decides $60 isn't worth dying over. Considers buying time until his 3 friends show up. Possibly making robbers bail without taking anything. Tells robbers he doesn't want trouble. Just take the wallet and it's got $60. Robber says they'll reach into his pocket for him. Tell him to keep looking towards the picnic tables in front of him for 1 minute. Friend tells them not to because it has a tracker on it. Thug says, he's right, leave his phone. Hears them jog off into the woods. Friend's friend arrives 2 minutes later. My friend isn't even that mad because it wasn't his life savings or anything. Friend's dealer gives him $20 of weed for free, says he'll let him know if he hears anything, though it's unlikely. Another guy gets the fuck beaten out of him 2 days later a few miles away. Definitely the same dudes, had the same M.O. Turns out the victim managed to distract the perp, struggle and grab one of the guns, but found out it was loaded with some kind of fake, probably wooden bullets. So they stomped him and pistol whipped him. My friend could have kept his money if he was able to bullshit 2 more minutes for backup to arrive.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.